Hello and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. Here we are. Sorry I'm late. I had to put a few things together. It wasn't really getting the gel, but I thought I'd drop that for you. Here we are. Everton 1, Fulham 3. Not how we wanted it to go. Match reaction. Get ready. This is going to be an interesting one. I've got loads of stuff for you. I'm going to drop it on the screen and we're going to go through the game. And I've got some good stuff for you here, and we'll go through it together. Now, I've got him, the one and only, Paul the man. Here he is. Hopefully, he'll help us through this and make us feel better. I'm sure he will. How are you doing, Paul?
I'm not bad. A little calmer now than yesterday. I'm sure we're all a little bit fraught, but we'll dissect it and go through it, and hopefully lift everyone up eventually.
We'll get you through this. We'll get you through. So drop you. You know how it goes. I'll always explain just in case there's new ones that have come on live. We go through the game. We'll say what we think and try and give you good football thoughts on the stuff. And you put what you think in the comments and we'll try and drop it on as much as we can. If we don't, it's because we're talking. But get involved, Evertonians. This is an Everton hub now for us to go through what's happened. So, Paul, we'll go straight into the game.
Yeah,
we'll talk about how we started. Then I'll drop some clips on the screen and show what happened. How do you think we started when we come out? Because
I had a little bit of a worry, to be fair, especially from what we'd said in the pre-match. I think a lot of things that we said didn't turn out to be as positive as we wanted. You know, Onana didn't even make the squad. DCL obviously wasn't there. Maybe we were led a little bit to believe that he would be, and then we actually go 4-4-2. Again, we don't have that third person in the middle, so I was worried, especially after us dissecting Fulham and knowing that they play with a 4-2-3-1. They've got plenty of midfielders, and I thought they would keep possession a lot better than we would, and that's how it turned out.
Well, I couldn't believe it because I'm waiting for the team to come out. And then all of a sudden I'm looking, I open my phone up and look at the team and they've got James, who we didn't even talk about in our pre-match. I didn't even know they had James, the one that went from Man U to Leeds. And he's quite good. And I thought, bloody hell, I'd rather than not have him. Then they had the other Welsh lad. And I thought, these have got players that I didn't even know they had, and they're playing, and they've completely caught me off guard. So I looked at that and I thought, that scared me a little bit more. Then I looked down to Everton next, and then I was like, where's Onana? And then I looked up top and I was like, it's not even Sims. It's not even Calvert-Lewin. It's Mope. No. It's Mope. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I know. What is this? I was shocked. And honestly, I'll tell you the truth. Straight away, I was scared because I looked at them without being biased towards Everton. I looked at that team and I looked at ours and I thought, we're in trouble here. They've got a lot better team on paper than us here. I really did think that. I don't know if you thought that as well. And I thought this game is going to be harder than what we wanted it to be when we spoke about it in the pre-match.
Yeah, well, whoever was on the pitch, I just felt us playing two in the middle hasn't been good for us. We don't keep possession that well. When we actually do attack, we break out from mid. Well, we tend to win the ball back and then hit them on the break. That's generally how we've succeeded in the last couple of months or last month or two. But to have just James Garner and Garner Gay in that middle against, well, what effectively was a 5-man midfield in Fulham, then wasn't the best. I just felt as though we wouldn't be able to keep the ball, and we wouldn't be able to keep the ball when it went forward either. Mope can't jump, can't win a header. He's 5'2". Gray tries his hardest, but that's not his strength, and the ball just kept going back and back and back to Fulham, and they kept it a lot better than we did.
This is a formation that didn't work against Man United. And me and you both said we need 3 in centre midfield. The 4-4-2 does not work. It does not work and we'll be in trouble. And I just couldn't see it working. And it was a 4-4-2. But maybe a 4-5-1 at times. I'm not sure on this formation what it is, and it's the first time I didn't like what I was shown, and it was scary.
Gray was playing striker. He certainly wasn't in the middle of midfield, was he? And Mope alongside him. And the thing is, you can play two in the middle if you're able to keep the ball up front. You can do it because they can hold it and the team can shift to go and support them. But if the ball is immediately given away, you two in the middle they're literally in the middle of 4 or 5 players of Fulham who were just keeping the ball and passing it around. And it was really, really easy for them. Really easy.
Well, we've watched Everton all this season, and the only time that Everton have looked good enough is when they've played that 4-5-1 with Decore, Garner, Gay, and Onana in the middle with the 3, with the wingers both tracking back to full to help them out. Now, we'll drop some stuff on the screen now. We'll get you into the game. So that's how we thought. We wasn't that confident going into it, but we'll drop the stuff now and we'll talk about it as we go. First of all, we'll start with the first goal. I could see this coming, Paul. I really could. I could see this goal coming because they was all over us straight away. There was, even though it was at home, it was like pinball. It really was like pinball. It was in the air, bouncing about. We had no authority. We didn't get on the ball. We didn't act confident. It wasn't like a home game, was it? And they was all over us from the start, and I could see this coming. And by the way, this wasn't the first chance they had to score. They had one just before this that they'd missed, and Pickford had to make a save. But this is so poor.
Well, that first 20 minutes, we had a half chance for Gray, and we had crosses put in by McNeil. But again, we've not got the personnel to win headers against big defenders. I'm not saying Fulham had like amazingly tall defenders or couldn't have been put under pressure or anything, but Gray and Mope don't get in front of those defenders. They certainly don't jump higher than them. So when we were actually getting crosses into the area, we had no final product. We had no one actually attacking those opportunities. And Fulham kept possession really well. In fact, the first 20 minutes, they were 58% possession just before the time of this goal. And it felt as though we were under pressure quite a lot of the time because we were running around and chasing the ball. And again, it comes back to those two in the middle.
Even on the wings, though, you look here, I felt like we got massively done on the wings. And this was a big part to not playing that 3 in the middle. Because we say when we play 3 in the middle that the people playing centre midfield can pull over and help if needs to be. Now, if you've got 2 people up there, Gray and Mope, we ain't got enough people back here. But look at that first picture there, Paul. Yeah, this is what they did all game, by the way. Just get it out to the wingers and whip the ball in. Now, this is the first goal. Look at him. Look how close our centre midfield is to coming over. We've got no one there in that set. Now, if you think to yourself, if we had 3 in centre midfield in front of that back line now, we'd be a lot better in that picture in number 1 because you'd have your left back, your left winger coming to help your left back that should be there on that player as well, and you'd have your frigging left centre midfielder coming over as well. Normally, Onana drops in to help as well, so you'd have 3 players there. But instead, we've got 1 player coming over that's not even in position. Now, you move down to picture 2. He's took it down. He's put a cross in, and it's just on. I put there on picture 2. Look, he's had the shot and he's hit the post. And look at all of our players. You can see if you look close on picture 2, they're all just watching the shot. On picture 2, they're all just watching the shot to see whether it's going in, not picking up any of those players. By the way, in picture 2. On the edge of the box. And this has happened most of the game. They've watched the shot instead of looking, if this shot doesn't go in, I've got to pick up these men. Because look at the Fulham players in picture 2. And then all of a sudden, you move over to picture 3 and you look, all the Fulham players are on it after it hits the post. And it's an easy goal in the end. And it's just that second ball, we're not reactive. We're not reactive enough to what happens. We was like it a lot. When we had the ball away, they was always onto that second ball.
Yeah.
And it happened a lot.
there's a key thing that I don't know whether Fulham have been working on it or not, and it happened about 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the actual goal, is that they would keep possession quite tight in the middle of the pitch. Then they'd drill it across over to your man in picture one, for example. When it was over there, you would then have Mikalenko and it would have been McNeil, wouldn't it? Or one of the centre-backs, but say for argument's sake, McNeil. And the two Fulham players, one with the ball, the other one without, would literally cross paths. They'd cross paths. And both times, and this was one of them, is that McNeil would follow the other player who's going out wide, almost like an underlap run or an overlap run. And Mikalenko would almost be distracted by that. And the guy who actually received the ball in the first place would run across. Now, it happened twice. I think it was Pereira both times. And in the second, I mean, we were warned once because they did get a shot away, but it was blocked, I think, or it went high over the bar. But in this one, actually, the shot goes, it could well have gone in. It was a cracking shot and then comes up back off the post. And again, we don't react. So there's lots of problems in place even before that shot gets to hit the post. And then, like you say, it's reactionary then. And you would like to think, I mean, it happens so quickly, but the two lads that we've got on the edge of the box on this side, in number 2, on this side of the D, they're still in that position by the time Reed gets the opportunity to score.
But it seems we've got no second plan. We kind of get something on it, but then close our eyes and just hope that something good happens after that. There's no movement after we've got something on it. With balls coming in the box, we did it. We cleared it, and it went to them, and then we're just all like put hands up trying to block it. There's no on that second ball with these, and it's simple. As we go through this on the stream tonight, you'll see that this was just a common thing. Put the ball out wide, the whip across in, and get onto that second ball because we don't clear it properly. I mean, I've got loads of it that I'll show you, and it's so frustrating when I put it on the screen. There's more of it, and we could see this. And I don't know if you noticed, Paul, I think he moved Iwobi over to left centre mid or to number 6 at one point because it wasn't working. He was moving it about. But we just can't afford to not have 3 centre midfielders because that defence isn't good enough. It really isn't. They don't clear things properly. And
I think that affected that. If anything, that affected the back four, to be honest, because they seemed quite uneasy from the get-go. I mean, when balls were coming in from our right-hand side, when they were being crossed in, we didn't seem very comfortable in dealing with those. If anything, Tarkovsky and
Keane was not good.
Yeah,
they wasn't good today.
We're crossing. We're sort of getting in each other's way at times.
Well, this is 20.
Did not seem comfortable at all.
This is 22 minutes in, and you can see straight away Tarkovsky and Keane look like they're everywhere. They do. You can tell they're not having a good game straight away. Now, out of the blue, they're all over us at this point. Out of the blue, I thought they was on top. But then McNeil comes and produces this worldie that I drop on now. And this was out of the blue. I didn't see us scoring. I thought they was going to go 2-0. I really did. And we produced this goal. I mean, it was Garner Gay turning it over. I thought Garner Gay wasn't too bad, to be fair. He was Garner Gay and McNeil was probably my best 2 players this game. But if you look now, Garner Gay turns it over, gets the ball, and he puts it to McNeil in this position. Now, this isn't an easy one to finish still, is it, in this position?
No, I mean, it comes out of nothing, really. I think we just won the ball back in the middle of midfield. McNeil's about 10 yards in front of them, passes it, gets out of his feet, shoots. You know, why not? I mean, there he's surrounded by 4 or 5 players. He's got very little to work with, very little to go on. So it's no surprise that he's had a shot, and it was a good one. It was a good one. And the thing is, before that, about 3 minutes before that, Mopé had a header from about 4 or 5 yards out. That goes either side of the goalkeeper instead of straight at him. Again, it's another one. So the reaction to going 1-0 down was better than the reaction to going 2-1 down, if you like. We were still optimistic at that point, and we're still creating a little bit, enough to keep us all interested.
Well, once we got this goal, it did feel like we went on top a little bit, didn't it? It gave us, put the wind in our sails that we needed. We had a bit of momentum then, and
it came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it came out of nowhere. Just lifted everyone, and then for that 10 minutes up to half time, we felt
we had another chance here,
as though we turned it round. And then there's a key moment that comes up, in.
I've got another moment here.
Before half time. Yeah,
I've got a Mopé moment to pop up now. I just want to give Everything Everton a shout out. He just said his mum's had a fall. I hope everything's okay on that. Sorry to hear that. That's not good news. Go and make sure she's okay, mate. I'm just going to drop the Mopé goal. I feel bad for him now. I hope everything's all right with that. The Mopé goal. I don't want to put this on because it's going to frustrate you. We said we've got to calm me down, but we've got to go through it.
Yeah. Yeah,
this is bad.
across Twitter and everything else, it's something that people have identified, and it's because we're quite used to having key moments that could go our way, which could get us in the lead, even by 2 goals sometimes, and then it comes back and bites us on the arse. And I mean, if you look at it a few times, it's a decent save. It's not like Mopé's fallen over his feet or anything.
He's clogged that too long.
It's a good save. However, he should, as a striker, be putting it away. Going off his stats as well, which I've read, they're not great. So confidence-wise, he's having an absolute nightmare, to be honest. So it's no surprise that he has missed. But if he'd scored that and we go in at half-time 2-1 up, the game plan changes, the mood changes, Fulham's approach changes, potentially. And you would imagine that we'd come out a little bit more full of energy second half.
You're completely right. If we score this, by the way, I think this is a complete different stream. I think we could have won it if not drew it. But
yeah.
If you look at the position, Mopé gets that in there. He's got to hit it first time. The reason the keeper's made the save, by the way, is because he's took too long. He's allowed the keeper to close him down. He hasn't got it at his feet. I mean, he could hit it first time, but instead he's controlled it. And as he's controlled it, he's put it towards the keeper and he's made it an easy save for the keeper and tried to do that chip over the keeper. I've watched this back a couple of times now. He's got to put his foot through this, Paul. He's got to just smash it.
He's tried to dink it, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's tried to dink it a bit.
There's not enough space to do that. Really.
He's got the whole left-hand side of the goal to just smash it in. And if you smash it in that close to the goal, it often goes in. But he's dinked it. And when you dink it, you don't put much paste on the ball and it gives the keeper more chance. He should have just smashed it in first time. And I'm sure Mopé has been asking Daesh for a chance, and he's probably been doing stuff training and probably earned his position. But I tell you something, he was crap at holding the ball up. I don't like calling players out because there's a lot more players that was bad this game, by the way. There was only 2 players that was 2-3 that was decent. But if you've been asking Sean Dyche for a go and you're a striker and you've come in and you've got a chance like that, like I put on the left there, and you can't finish that, then I'm sorry, you're not good enough. He just isn't good enough. And I thought this before when I seen him on paper, but I thought I'll get behind him. He might prove something this game. And he hasn't. He's lost his chance for me there because that is a bad miss before half time in a relegation.
He's actually his first touch was actually half decent, because if you see the number 2 to Mopé's left hand side, he comes in and he's ending up quite tight. He's trying to put Mopé off or get some sort of challenge in. It's just like you say, he's taken too many touches. Leno's got close enough to make a difference. And he's not tried to side foot it in the corner or anything. It is a little dink. And sometimes if you've got a crisis of confidence, you're not playing well, you'll have more touches and you'll make wrong choices. You'll either try and be too elaborate you know, and try and make everyone think, oh, what a really good move that was, instead of trying to do just some of the simple things, really.
He's just
That's what's happening with Mopey.
He's just said the same as you there. Paul Caswell just said exactly what you said. His movement was good. His first touch was good, but then he tried to do too much, and the lack of confidence shows. It's a good point there. It just wasn't good enough for me.
But the thing is as well, though, that the goal. I mean, even like a couple of minutes before the goal, our response to going a goal down wasn't a bad response at all.
No, we was on top here.
Yeah, we had obviously second half we'll talk about, but from going 1-0 down, we've then created some chances, and again, it's taking those chances. But we have made those chances, which means if we weren't creating anything at any point in the game, that would be an even bigger worry. But we have created things, so there is an opportunity to actually get some goals if we keep doing that thing.
From going 1-0 down to come back and to score like we did out the blue, and to get this chance before half time, this is what keeps you up. These are the moments that keep you up. And it just isn't good enough for me. I've just seen Paul's comment there. I'm devastated, Dan and Paul. I'm struggling to find a way. A lot of us are the same, mate. Don't worry. But watch this, give it a listen. And we're planning to be positive by the end of it. So stick with us with this, Paul. And we'll get you positive at the end of it. Stick with us. And I'll go through this stuff fast. And we'll finish with a good little Everton spirit thing to lift the spirits. I will lift your spirits, I promise, because we've got to. We have to, even though it's hard. Trust me, I felt the same yesterday, but I feel a little bit better today. But yeah, he's got to score. And if he scores, I think the crowds are up. It's a different game. The fans are up. And it's better. I tweeted when he, like before half-time, I said we don't want half-time to come. It's one of them where you just want the game to carry on, because it took us 30 minutes to get going that first half. Like when Mopey scored, when McNeil scored. I wish Mopey scored. It's got in my head now. When McNeil scored, that's when we started. That was 30 minutes in. So we'd finally got going. I kind of didn't want us to sit back down because it might take us a while to get going again second half. That was my thought process. So I didn't want half time to come. But obviously we've gone in now. 1-1. Mopey, you missed this. I'm frustrated with you, mate. I'm really frustrated. You probably missed your chance to play again after that, because Sean Dyche did mention it in the interview about it. Now, we're in half-time. How are you feeling half-time? You nervous? 1-1?
No, half-time, I'm thinking, we're 1-1 now. We've had a couple of chances. This could go well for us. What I do want to happen is we're more of a unit. I was hoping that we would maybe change things so we could have a bit more control in midfield, whether that would be changing the shape or the personnel was the thing. But when nothing was changed after 60 minutes or so, I was just hoping we'd change it before Fulham got a goal, because they were all over us and they were going to create a chance. They were going to create a chance.
You could see it happening. You could see it happening.
I mean, the first half, it was even on lots of stats. I mean, you wouldn't have thought it after that first half an hour, but we actually went in 50-50 in possession. We'd actually both had the same number of shots on and off target. So we brought ourselves completely back into the game. Although it felt as though, because that first half an hour was an absolute drubbing, without actually conceding more than one goal, which was a bit of a godsend, we were still in it, and we could actually get something from that second half.
Yeah, they was all over us, but like you say, they had good first 25 minutes. We probably had a good 20 minutes to 50-50 it. Now, you thought it was going to be in it second. I thought we was, but I was scared of this team because I wasn't that happy with the first half, and I felt like they was just dominating us down those wings, which was scaring me. So we started second half. It hasn't took long, has it, for them to be all over us? And this has happened. I'll drop it on the screen. We'll get through it quick, Evertonians. Don't worry, we will get through it quick. Second half. This is just so poor, though. This is why I'm going through it quick, because we have to go through the game. That's what I do on this channel. We'll break it down for you.
Yeah, you need to, though, don't you? You need to go through. You need to be not content with it, but you need to maybe understand it and vent it. and that's what we do, but we do it in a positive way because we know we're not over. Nothing's over. We keep going, don't we?
Yeah, we have to. We'll get you positive at the end. We'll just get through this crappy stuff of the game at first. But we have to go through it because you have to realize what we've got to improve on. And it just gives you a better idea of what's going wrong. And that's what we like to do. But it's no coincidence, Paul. I'm glad I put this up again. What did I show you early on? Where was there danger down the right-hand side? I said to you they was doing us on the wings. Now, look at that number 1. They're down the right-hand side again. And look at William here. Back post. Yeah. He's completely free. And they just play it. It's the same again. It's exactly a cliche of the first goal, isn't it, really?
The bit that worries me, what's happened is that Fulham have controlled possession on that right-hand side. And we've completely shifted. Shifted. I mean, if you look at that number 1 picture, and you're looking at where Garner Gay is, where Iwobi is. I think Gray's in there as well. We've completely gone over that side. You've got McNeil, number 7, in number 1 picture. His job, if that is the situation, he should not be with their fullback, Robinson. He should actually be closer to Willian and in the D, in that massive, huge space there. As soon as that cross comes in, that's where he should be. If Iwobi is out of position, where he obviously is, or Garner Gay is, or James Garner, and there's that massive space just in front of where the referee is, because that's where Harry Wilson's going to go in. And when Willian gets the ball and knocks it back, that's where Wilson is going to have his shot. Now, that needs to be filled. That position needs to be filled. And whether it be one of the ones who got dragged over completely to our left-hand side, or McNeil, who should be thinking, the ball's nowhere near me, I should be in defence mode now, what am I going to do? That gap needs to be filled. And that's the problem, I think. That was the problem with most of their opportunities. It happened with the goal, the first goal. It happens with this goal. It happened with another couple of chances as well, I think, where they actually ballooned it over the bar.
I've got that on in a bit as well. Yeah, that's
it's all of these where the ball has come back out from that goal line or that byline, and it's around that penalty spot. It's around the edge of the area, and that's what they've done. They've sucked us absolutely in, nodded the ball back, passed the ball back, got a rebound off the post, wherever it be, and then they've come through with a shot. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
It really is frustrating because you can see that, like you've said, made some good points there. They've all got drawn over. And this is why I say Everton need to play the 3 centre midfielders, because when we play two go over and we're left with no centre midfield there. Look across that D now. No centre midfield. Our closest centre midfielder looks like he's playing bloody left wing. In fact, if you look close, the centre midfield is non-existent. And that's why I do like playing the 4-5-1, because near Godfrey there, you would have a centre midfielder just around him, and you'd have McNeil getting back, because in that system, the right winger did get back more. It was Iwobi. Godfrey would have 2 players to help him out. So even if Godfrey missed that when it's come over to William, he'd probably have 2 players to help him out with William. Now, I still think Godfrey could probably deal with William. I don't think he does a good job, and I don't think he particularly had the best game. But I just think that formation just makes everything a lot safer. And that's why I put this stuff on the screen to show you now, because like I say, we have triangles in the 4-5-1. And I just think in that 4-4-2, it allows people to get forward and not track back. And I think the 4-5-1 says everyone has to be back. That's the rule. And the 4-4-2, you've got, like I said, McNeil, he had a good game, but there he hasn't tracked back. And then you've got no centre midfielders near Godfrey either. So we've got massive errors there. And all it is a simple tap in on. You'll see on picture 2, William gets to it there, knocks it back, simple knockdown. In picture 3, he's completely free. It's the easiest goal ever. It's a small picture there, but you'll see it's the easiest goal ever for him to score. And we've gifted that to him, we have. And it's just so frustrating for me because everything's wrong there. There's just not one little thing that's wrong, not one little mistake. Everything's wrong. And that needs to change for me on what's happened there, because it's twice we've just talked about one cross in the box, a knockdown, and they just score such a simple goal. And that's not what we've been like. And this is new, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I think Mykolenko really struggled, and I don't think whether it be McNeil or Iwobi on the wing was particularly great, giving him the greatest of support, to be honest. And he seemed a little bit lost, Mykolenko, and lots of crosses came in from that position as well. Like you said, and felt as though we were getting ripped down.
This was the chance that you said. This was the chance that you said.
Yeah.
Now,
are you saying we were getting stuck
again?
in the
Look,
wings?
again.
Well, it's because if anything, the lads who were playing out wide were almost coming so far inwards to try and support the two lads in the middle. So, I mean, I just feel as though it all stemmed from not having three people in the middle of the pitch.
It's true what Jamie says. It is basic stuff, and I do think it's a big part of it as well. Is what you've said. Free centre midfielders massively helps it, because the 4-4-2 wingers don't track back. They don't. They try to attack too much in that formation. It's not a disciplined formation, and everyone's everywhere, and everyone can't get the hang of it. We've played that 4-4-2 twice now, and it hasn't worked. And I've put what we've had the first goal, the second goal's come down the right, and now look, he's putting a cross in on the right. Patterson's now in this position, so it's not even can't even blame Godfrey completely, because Patterson's not got William here. Williams just had a shot. It's got blocked. Like I say, get onto the second ball. I've said this all the way through the stream now. When Williams hit it, we block it. Now, in the last clip on the bottom right, we blocked it, and we're not onto that player again. And we're very lucky Pierre has hit that over the bar, because he shouldn't have. That's an easy chance to score. And it could have been another goal here. So the warnings are there, ain't they? We're already 2-1 down. And these look like they're going to score more than us, don't they? At this 63rd minute in the game, 2-1 down. They've just missed the sitter. So we're not that good, are we, here?
No, I think Sean said it as well, is that the reaction to the going 1-0 down was positive. You know, we come back, we create a few chances, we actually get the goal. The reaction to going 2-1 down was complete opposite. It wasn't as though we were going to keep the ball. Everyone ran less, didn't really show for each other. We're chasing shadows when the ball was crossed in or dropping down. It didn't drop down to any of our lads. And you've got to be in it to win it. You know what I mean? You've got to be on your toes and ready to react. And they were happy with themselves, winning away from home, passing the ball. But then they would be on their toes to try and get another one. Exactly what happened.
We let them play, and 2-1, they've just had this chance over the bar. You think, Everton will realise now, because we're in a relegation battle. If they go 3-1, the game's finished. So Everton need to do something. Do they do something? No. I'm going to put on the screen now what happens after that. They're literally going to score not long after that, after we've just had the light in our eyes that they're going to score. And it's James. The player that I said, I didn't even know James played for them. I said to my partner that James will probably score. I didn't even know he plays for him, and he's all right. He is. Yeah. And this is the worst of them all. This is.
Yeah, I mean the ball in from the right hand side, and it's just logged in. It's hopeful, if anything. You know, we said
from the halfway line.
Yeah, well, we said in the pre-match about Vinicius being their main guy up front, and because it wasn't Mitrovic, it'd be a different kind of game. Now, Vinicius didn't play, but he's pacey, and I think that's why they chose James. And all Daniel James was doing was just buzzing around, to be honest. I mean, from that first picture there, when the ball's coming over Tark's head, and Keane can see it, he's facing the ball himself. You would just think from that position, we're safe. There's absolutely no problems.
It's so bad.
Well, I just don't think the body position is very good. I think we've gone too tight to the ball. He's got a lucky bounce. But I tell you what, that finish that he's done there for their third goal is the finish that Mopé should have done for our second goal. And that was the difference. That was the difference. It was those key moments. And they get 3-1 from doing that simple pass into the corner finish. We would have gone 2-1 up with our simple pass into the corner finish. And it's those
basic. It's just so basic, though. I mean, it's one long ball, and Tarkowski is clearly out of position. He goes for it and misses it. He's done this a couple of times now. I don't want him to start turning into frigging Michael Keane's mistakes, but he's gone for it. And your centre back, Keane's watching everything. So if Tarkowski goes for it and he misses it, Keane's got to cover him. He hits the ball and it kind of comes off Keane, which is a bit lucky. It bounces off Keane, but we know what Keane's dopiness is like. It always goes against him. It's bounced off the back of his feet and gone perfect and put him through on goal in that position. It's took a bit of a deflection off Keane's back legs.
That's the thing as well, though, is that it's come off Keane's back legs. Keane shouldn't even be as far to our lines as much as that. It's almost a yard of standing further back, because then he can affect that attack that they've got. Even if Daniel James brought it down with a wonder touch, he's still then got to position himself to shoot. If Keane is so close to James, like he was, then James has that look or that position to be able to get a shot off in the end. If Keane's 1 yard further away, he can then affect that shot and he can block that shot. And sometimes our lads just get sucked into each other too much.
You make a very good point.
Just needs that bit of sense.
You make a good point there, because, like you say, Keane should back off, because he's not going to hit it first time and score. He's got to control it and score. So Keane needs to back off, let him control it, and then go in for the tackle. But he's completely made James's mind up for him.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's probably, I mean, I'm obviously speculating, but if you're in that situation where the crowd's on your back, everyone's down because, you know, we need to get something from the game. You're almost too het up. You're not thinking clearly. And that's what we seem to be doing all second half, was that we weren't really thinking very well about our positions. We just wanted to get in and win the ball. We just wanted to run after it and run there, run there, run there. And actually, we were just running out of position and not really thinking about it.
So that took us to 3-1, and you kind of knew the game was done then, didn't you? I didn't feel like it was going to come back.
No. although I'm sure most of us did sit and watch, and you know, you never know, get one back, you know, there might be a chance, but we actually never got as close as we did in the first half to getting that chance. I mean, I was never sort of you know, the XG thing, expected number of goals and stuff. I was never really a fan of that, but the more I've watched us this season, the more I've looked at it, and we were actually 0.02 on expected goals in that second half. God knows what we did for the 0.02.
Well, Paul's just
I can't remember anything.
Paul Castles just said we never got in the half after that.
Exactly. So I don't know whether they thought we were going to shoot from our own half, but that's the lowest expected goals that I've actually seen, to be honest, in any game. And I can understand why it was that, because it just felt as though nothing stuck, nothing went beyond their back four. We didn't create a chance, and like you said, everyone's heads had gone, I think, from 2-1 down. We never really recovered.
A lot of people was frustrated because what's up? You're right. A lot of people was frustrated because we didn't bring Sims on earlier, and there was just didn't like watching Mope on the pitch after missing that, and they felt like Dyche's substitutions was awful. And this is the first time Sean Dyche has been massively questioned, even by myself. I'm not questioning him as a manager, but I'm questioning him for that game, saying, because for me, it seems, I mean, we've gone through the game stuff now, so we could just have a heart-to-heart with you in the comments. I had to get it done, and it wasn't nice, but we've gone through it nice and quick, but detailed, and said where the mistakes are. But it just seems like against, do you know when we've chucked players on to get the draw against Chelsea or whatever? and it's looked like our defence can handle their attacks and we can afford to play with 2 strikers. Sean Dyche has thought, oh, we look good then when I went all attack. And it looks like Sean Dyche has tried to play more attacking after us coming back in that Chelsea game and going 2-2 and thinking, oh, maybe this Everton team can actually handle 4-4-2 because he's chucked it on later on when a team's sitting back. Now, that's not the case. We've watched us all season. We need to play 4-5-1 with a midfielder getting back to help the midfield because we're just not good enough.
No,
for me, that's the way we are. And the only time I've ever seen anything work this season is when we've played 4-5-1. Both wingers get back and help the right and left back. The centre midfielders get back as a 3 because we can't play as a 2, and we can't afford for a striker to stay up there. Gray has to come back and help as well. And that's the only time I've seen it work for Everton. And I just don't think it's a thing to play around with. And I didn't think Sean Dyche would play around with it, Paul, because I didn't think he was a risky manager. This is all new to me. I didn't think he'd go for it as much as he has because we're in a relegation battle.
Yeah, I think, there's obviously lots of stuff that we're not privy to, aware of. You know, there must be a reason that he's suddenly switching to that, to be honest. He must feel as though Decore is so, I'd say so vital in the middle, but if he thought he was so vital in the middle, then he would be replacing him, not replacing a different part of the pitch. So it's a strange one because actually our best results have been with a 4-5-1. And I don't think anyone expects us to win games 2-3-0. I know we were a little bit, maybe a little bit obviously over optimistic on the pre-match, but you don't get to games winning 3-4-0 by just playing all out attack. Actually, you win the battle in midfield. You get more confident. And if you are winning, then the other team have got to come out. And that's when your midfield, which we've had in recent games, with 3 in the middle, then is more confident, able to pass the ball about, and then we can go forward and create chances. I almost feel as though James Garner was left out to dry a little bit, to be honest, because he's expected to suddenly do him and Idrissa Gueye as well, expected to do the running of 3 people against a formation which hasn't changed. Fulham have played 4-2-3-1 for most of their games. It's what Marco Silva thinks when he managed us. So it shouldn't be any surprise that they would have that formation.
The thing is, if we're struggling with Gueye, Onana, and Decore in the middle, and we're only just doing well with the 3, how can you go and put 2 there? Garner Gueye, who's not, look at his age, he hasn't got the fitness to run about as a 2. And then you chuck James Garner in, who's the Blues has just said in the comments, is not up to the speed yet. And you put them together as a 2, and you expect them, one that's not up to speed, one that's old, and you expect them to play a centre mid together and do it. It just doesn't make no sense to me. And it's just frustrating because, like I say, we've been playing with 3 centre midfielders, Onana, Gueye, and Decore, and they still struggle. Why would you all of a sudden think 2 is going to be okay in the middle? I think, I know I said we'd thrash Fulham, and I was stupid for saying that. And by the way, when they put that team out, I was a lot more scared than what I was in the pre-match. But I feel we're massively disrespected how good Fulham are. Yeah, we need to treat every game like we're playing bloody Man City or like we're playing Chelsea. That's what we need to do, because you need to show them the same sort of respect, because Everton ain't a team that could just go out, play 4-4-2 and batter Fulham. We're not that. We always need to be overdoing it to defend, because we're not that good at defending.
For the last 30 years, to be honest, most of the time when we've played against underdogs, we've not played like the better side. There's been so many seasons of, look at these next 3 fixtures, look at these next 4 fixtures. What a great opportunity this is to consolidate a European place or to get us away from the bottom 3. And actually what happens is that whether we get beyond ourselves or we just like you say, maybe don't respect the opposition enough. What happens is that those occasions we fall down. And then that's it. The next 3 matches that we end up playing, Chelsea, Arsenal, or whoever, they're the games where we get the unexpected points. Them saying, "Oh, well, if we can do it against them, we can do it against anyone." So then the next 3 fixtures come up, and we do exactly the same thing, And we look at games that we should win, maybe too far in advance. But I do think, for a start, James Garner would have excelled, I think, in a 3. Excelled in a 3. Because he's very technical.
I think he would have done better in a 3. And we always say, as long as they've given everything, they didn't give everything today. When Sean Dyche come in, these players, they was at it. There was like hunting packs. I don't know whether Decore was the answer, but surely it can't be all down to him. They was really hunting things down. And the way Fulham was passing out from defence, we wasn't even hunting it. We didn't have that hunger, and we're at home, and it didn't play like there was a relegation battle on this yesterday. And I don't know where it's gone. I mean, it wasn't there against Man United, and I said to you, and we said that we need to show that was a one-off, and the hunger needs to come back. Now, this was a home game. The ball's pinned about. We ain't just getting the ball down saying we're at home. This is what we want to do. Sean Dyche said it in the interviews. He said we didn't have no authority. We didn't get the ball down and do what we wanted, and I don't know why they haven't got that. Formation might come down to it. I mean, some people, it just shows, though, it's not as simple as us Evertonians think all the time, because Patterson come in, and I said to you, I'll play Godfrey because Patterson might not be up to speed. He wasn't, by the way. Yeah. He looked very fragile as a right back. And we all think we know the answers sometimes. We've been saying play Patterson, but he wasn't up to speed. And Sean Dyche knows that. And he made a mistake soon as he come on, Patterson did. Although he was playing well before he got injured, these players still do need to get up to speed.
Yeah, well, he's got a big week ahead of him, because I think he's going to have to be up to speed on Saturday. If Godfrey's not fit, if Coleman's not fit, then it's Patterson who's definitely going to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, completely agree. Do you know what? I was actually a frigging Man United fan today myself. I was actually a Man United fan today myself, because I was watching it. I was like, Man U 1-0. Freaking get it 2-0 quick, because we need Forest to lose. We literally are watching every game scared of. Well, I'll put it up now. Actually, this is what it is like being an Evertonian fan now. Look, this is what it's like being an Evertonian fan. I'm frigging watching this now, watching a Man U game when I support Everton. I mean, I like my football anyway, but I'm watching the Man U game. And I'm looking at the scores. This is what all Everton fans are doing at the minute. We're just looking at league tables and stuff. And sorry, that's the wrong one. I'll get that up in a minute. That's another interesting one that I'll drop in 2 seconds. We'll come back to that. That's quite interesting. Hopefully, it'll get us a bit more positive. But yeah, I'll show you what the Man United fan that just come on. I'll show you what we're doing. Look, I'm looking at league tables and looking at your scores and stuff. Why? We're playing, look, because it was 1-0 for ages, and I thought Forest are going to get a goal back in. If Forest get a goal back, it changes the league position.
I also thought sod's law, because Rashford's out. Oh, great. Rashford's out for playing teams that we want him to beat,
This is scary, this is, because there's some... I would be a lot more comfortable, and I don't mean to disrespect, by the way, Bournemouth fans, I don't mind you, I like you. I like any football fan apart from Liverpool, but and Newcastle apparently now, but I would feel a lot more comfortable if it was Bournemouth 19th and probably Leeds that was 18th, because Leicester scare me there. They really do, and I know they're poor and they ain't playing well, but Leicester do scare me in that position, because I know they've got good players, but they are playing crap and they're not playing good. It's lasting that they are playing crap.
Yeah, I mean, said it before. Good indicator is goal difference. It's rare that you have someone who's got one of the worst 3 goal difference above the bottom 4. To be honest. And teams who have got the worst goal difference are the likes of Bournemouth. What's that? That they've got 28, is it? You know, I mean, at the moment, obviously we've got what 2022.
How have we?
It's
How have
not
we?
great.
How have we managed to lose against Fulham and still end up at that bottom? I don't know how it's doing. It feels like we've frozen in the table in that position. It does, because we are very lucky, you know, to be in that position still after frigging not beating Fulham.
Yeah, massively,
very
massively.
lucky. And I know
I mean,
everyone.
the games that it's really going to come down to are the games against each other, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
in that section,
I haven't put
there.
I haven't put our fixtures up, but we know our fixtures coming up. But I have dropped. I've got now. You look at two teams at the bottom here that I feel we might be in competition with. I'd say Nottingham Forest and Leicester, because they're both below us. So I've gone and looked at Nottingham Forest and Leicester's fixtures. We'll just drop that. We're coming to end. We're getting more positive now, because that is still a good league position, by the way. And a lot of Evertonians,
relegation zone.
Yeah, a lot of Evertonians that say we're down. That we're very lucky we're in that league position, because I'm sure Leicester fans below us and Forest fans below us are shitting themselves saying the same. So we need to just keep focused here. This is where we boost ourselves back up. We do need to keep focused, because we're not in the relegation thing. We played the same amount of games. Forest lost, luckily. We've got to get more positive. The games are still there, and we have got some good fixtures coming up where we're against the teams at the bottom, so it's still there for grabs. The downfall is that we're not playing well, but we've got to believe that things can change with that. I mean, these are the fixtures of Forest and Leicester. Jamie Warrington told me to put Forest fixtures up because he says Forest have got an awful run coming up. And he's not wrong, is he?
Liverpool, he's not wrong at all. No.
It's not easy.
Liverpool that away, Brighton at home, Brentford away, and then they've got Southampton at home. Chelsea away, Arsenal
Palace means away. Something then. Palace will probably still need that. Every game there's solid. No, there's no easy game, but that's a hard run.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing that we've got to remember as well, is that it's not just us; it's other teams out there as well.
This is my point.
Saying exactly the same as we are, exactly the same.
This is my point to boost us back up at the end of this channel, because we're coming to an end now. We'll hit the hour mark, but this is my point. Don't overdo it on ourselves. You know, it was a crap game, but we've got to trust that it's going to change. We've got to trust that it's going to change, and it's not just us. Imagine how those Nottingham Forest fans feel below us with those fixtures coming up. Imagine how those Leicester fans feel there. Look, Leicester haven't got it easy. Yeah. Leicester they've got Wolves. Fair enough, that's probably the easiest one they've got. But then Leeds is a relegation battle. That'll be hard. Leeds won't be easy. We did well against Leeds. Then they've got us. That's a big, big game, by the way. That is where we said Fulham's. Yeah,
that's huge.
When that game comes up, that Leicester game. Leicester, oh my days, that is going to be massive with not many games left. That's a scary game for me, but it's a game where you can get, so if you get something, it means something, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the bank holiday Monday, 8 o'clock, so it's going to be an evening one. It's huge. It's absolutely massive, but they all are. You know, I mean, Leicester there, Wolves at home and Leeds away. They'll be looking at and us at home. They would be looking at those three games as being the ones that they've got to do, because then they're away at Fulham, they're at home to Liverpool, they're away to Newcastle, and then they're at home to West Ham. You know, by which time West Ham might well be safe after seeing how well they came back today. But there's clubs who are in exactly the same position, and they're going to be feeling exactly the same thing, and it comes down to those key games. So that game against Fulham, yeah, it was a shocker, but we're not down.
No,
you know,
we're not.
Fourth from bottom.
You can't wave the white flag yet.
Exactly. In the next couple of weeks, we've got players who are going to be coming back as well. You know, Decore will miss the Palace game, but he'll be back after that from suspension. DCL will be back at some point. You know, Nana, hopefully it's not a long-term injury. He'll be back as well. Yeah, there's one or two other lads who might now get a little bit of a run in the side, like James Garner, like Patterson, and then have a little bit of a run doing that because we've got some people on the sidelines. So it's about picking those positives out of a very thin basket of positives, but there are still positives. Because I tell you what, you talk to a Forest fan now and get him to pick out the positives, or speak to a Leicester fan now and get her to pick out the positives. So we're by no means down and as grim as lots of people may suspect. You just let yourself go through it, you get past it, you pick out the positives, have a day or two off it, and then we crack on for the next game and we go again.
I completely agree. I think you've just got to dust it off. I think it hurt. You just all we've got to do now is to just make sure that we don't see that performance again. That's what we've got to get back to, that Arsenal performance. It was there. It happened. The Arsenal performance happened, and we've had some other good performances as well. We need to find those performances again, and it starts with this next game. And I mean, Fulham was a massive loss of 3 points. We should have picked them up, but it's not over. We're not in the bottom three. And we've got these games coming up. I mean, we've got Crystal Palace. I feel this is massive. Newcastle, we've got a chance. Stick behind them. Stick behind them, because we all had us down that Crystal Palace game at half-time when it was 2-0 down. Who would have thought we would have turned that around 3-2? Nobody. So if you can turn a game around in one half, in 45 minutes, if you can stay up in 45 minutes, if they can do that against Crystal Palace, which we would never have believed they could have done it, then with all these games that we've got ahead and we're not even in the bottom three, why can't we just still believe? We've got to believe. Now, that team that stayed up last season had bloody Michael Keane in it, Gomez and all that lot. You wouldn't have believed they would have turned it around against Crystal Palace with the players they had on, but they did. You never know what's going to happen. You've got to stay in it and believe in it and just see it out to the end to see what happens. And I just believe that we've got to stay positive. That's the main thing. I don't want us to go down because we crumbled. If we go down, us fans go down believing and fighting till the very end, and the players need to step it up because they're not good enough at the minute. And that's just how I think, Paul. That's my thoughts. I'm ready. I told you I'd go through the channel and looking at the fixtures of them and looking at the table. I'm ready. I'm ready for the challenge. And the only thing that will frustrate me is if I'm ready. And I'm passionately ready now for Everton to turn it around, and I'm not seeing them turn it around. Now, I fully expect Sean Dyche to get onto these players and sort this out, because this ain't good enough. It really ain't good enough. And this is the first time, I mean, forget Man U because they're a good team. This is the first time Everton, under Sean Dyche, we've questioned him and they've been really poor. Now, let's hope Sean Dyche comes out and shows us something different and give him a chance, because it is the first time he's been questioned, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Managers have good games and bad games, same as players. It's all about decision making, isn't it? So let's hope that they have a good week. They work hard this week. They think about what they're going to do Saturday and how to win the game, not just to try and batter it up front, but actually think of it as a unit again. And
I don't think Sean Dyche will be stubborn, and that you've got the Evertonian that's frigging Sean Dyche's coaching staff. He's not just going to let us be shit and go down. They're going to give everything. Sean Dyche isn't going to want to lose that Everton job. If he keeps us up, he gets a lot of money and he's got a good Premier League job of Everton that he probably really wants to manage long term next season. That coaching staff and Sean Dyche, I know he plays it cool like he's not bothered, but trust me, they'll be at it to try and put it right for us. Yeah, and they're not just going to let us go down. So we've just got to get behind and believe in them that they're going to make it not happen.
And the other side as well, I mean, we've said about Forest and Leicester there. I'm just looking at Leeds next games. Obviously, they got...
I wanted to put them all on, but my screen wasn't big enough.
I know. But a load of them are really hard. I mean, Leeds, bloody hell, Leeds running. Liverpool tomorrow. They've got... Fulham away on the early kickoff next Saturday. They've then got Leicester at home, which in some ways could work for us quite well or work for us really well. Away at Bournemouth, away at City, home against Newcastle, away at West Ham, home against Spurs last day. Some shockers, do you know what I mean? And we've got games in there for us that I think we can get points from. If we may not necessarily have to win 2, 3, 4 games to actually stay up. What we do have to do is work hard, be a unit, and make sure that we don't lose a lot of those games. And when we do get chances, to finish the bloody things.
Yeah, you've got to be more clinical on those chances. It's going to be horrible hoping the Red Shark beat Leeds tomorrow. Just read that on the comment. Yeah, unfortunately, being an Evertonian, you have to watch every bloody game now, it turns out, around the bottom. Anyone playing around the bottom, we have to watch. But yeah, hopefully the results do go our way because we'll need it. I mean, if someone missing out on 3 points is a win for us, it's like us picking up 3 points. We do need results to go away to make this job easier because it's already hard. It's already going to be hard to stay up. It could come down to the last game now. Now, I was saying that Fulham game, if we win that, I felt like we could move away and it not come down to the last game to stay up. Now I think it's coming down to it will come to the last game to stay up. And the Palace thing's probably going to happen, Paul. But whatever, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring the Everton roller coaster.
Lot of football to play, yeah. A lot of football to play.
We'll do it. Believe in it. We'll do it. Get back on it. Sean Dyche will be working with them. We'll boost ourselves back up and we'll all be back on it. Whatever will be, and we'll stay up. We will stay up. Just stay positive. It's easy. I know it hurts. I know if you think we're going to go down, then fair enough. But I know deep down you'll still want to fight to stay up because we love Everton and we don't want them to go down. And we do need to stay up. I had you in the intro then. So thanks everybody for coming on. We'll be ready for the pre-match of the next game. And I'm ready for it. I just want it to... You feel like you want to fast forward it to see what's going to happen, don't you?
I know. Roll on Friday.
Oh, you do feel like you want to fast forward it. We can do it. We can stay up. We really can.
Yeah. Have a good week, everyone.
Have a good week. Crystal Palace.
Yeah, forget about it, and then we'll come back stronger. Me
and Paul will look at Crystal Palace, pick out some weaknesses we've got. We'll give Sean Dyche a ring, tell him how to smash them. Don't worry, we've got this in the bag. I'll get on the phone to Sean Dyche and say, oh, they've got a centre-back can't kick it with his left foot. We'll tell him, and we'll beat Crystal Palace. Evertonians, stay positive. Don't let it affect things. Get on with your normal life stuff. Don't think about Everton. And only think about Everton on this channel. So when you come on this channel, let your vent out now. Chuck it in the comments. Think about Everton now. Just use your Everton thinking process here. Don't let it go into other stuff. And we'll do it. Thanks, everyone. Paul, you enjoyed that? Yeah. Good one. Thank you. I put us in the banner rolling around. I don't think you've seen that at the start, did you? You wasn't looking. Didn't see that. I've watched now. I'll finish it with a banner. Oh, I love playing around with this stuff. I'm still getting the hang of this channel, but I am enjoying it. And it took me ages to put some stuff to set it all out for you lot to go through the Everton game today. So I hope you appreciate it. And like and subscribe. Hit the like button because if you hit the like button, more Evertonians will see it and the channel will get bigger. And then we can have more Evertonians on the channel. And I can counsel them as well. Me and Paul can counsel them and make them feel better because that's what we're doing. We get that feedback saying, what would we do without the channel? So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't have to subscribe if you don't want to, but if you can, it's amazing. And try and get this channel bigger for us, please, or share it or anything like that. I don't promote it enough, but yeah, I will keep making it really good for you, and Paul will as well. Toffee thingy. I'll show you the thing now. You ready? Say bye. Bye, everyone.